Backpack Essential: 15 things that should be in every student's bag. Written by errands Peterson. Last updated 14 January 2020. When I was a kid, I avoided packing my backpack. I'd always leave it until right before it was time to leave for school, which resulted in many uh, hectic morning. It also resulted in a number of forgotten homework assignments, textbooks, and writing implements. These days, however, I love figuring out the optional things to carry around in my backpack. Even though I don't attend classes anymore, I still carry a backpack when I go out to run errands or work at coffee shops. So in this article, I wanted to take a look at what should be in your backpack for college. In addition to what you should pack, I'll also take a brief look at some of my favorite backpacks. Wondering what else you should bring to college? Check out of your full college packing list. Best backpacks for college. Before I get to the list of things to put in your backpack, I want to briefly address which backpack you should get. To begin, if you already have a backpack that isn't falling apart and holds the things you want to carry, then there's no need to get a new one. I used the same Jansport bag throughout all of high school and college, even taking it into backpacking trips through Europe. But if your high school backpack is looking a bit rigid, I have a couple of suggestions for replacement. My first recommendation is the Wenger Synergy. This bag has enough pockets to hold whatever you need to carry, and it can fit laptop up to 16 40.64 centimeters. Learn more about the Wenger Synergy backpack here. If your budget is a bit higher, then you could also look into the Yebags laptop backpack. This is a backpack that Thomas uses, and it offers a number of cool organizational features. This includes a special pocket for headphones, as well as compartments that open from the side instead of the top. But once you have your backpack, what should you put inside it? Read it on to find out. 50 things every student should have in their backpack. Here's everything you should have in your backpack for a typical day of college. This way you'll never get to class and think, dang, it was my charger. Laptop. I'll start with what is no doubt the most important item. You can use your laptop to take notes, take papers, and to research, plus play the occasional video game or two. Just be sure to check if your professor allows laptops in class, not all do. If you are looking to buy a new laptop, here are a few favorites. Acer Aspire E15 laptop, Dell XPX 15, MacBook Pro, if you're a Mac user, Asus Zephyrus GX 701. Thomas main laptop these days expensive, but it's as powerful as a gaming desktop computer. Note: now while we will prefer to use a regular laptop, you can totally use a tablet if you want. Pens and pencil. While a laptop can cover most of your talking needs, there are some times when writing by band is better. For instance, it's much quicker to take notes in matching scenes clothes with a pencil. Yes, you can quickly transcribe questions and illustrations, plus writing by hand will help with information retention. When it comes to pens and pencil, I have a few suggestions. For pens, I recommended Pilot G2. Theirs a bit more expensive than your typical ballpoint, but they offer a smooth, fluid writing experience. As for a pencil, I strongly recommend Mechanical. This set from Papermate is a classic, allowing you to write small enough to fit massive math questions into one sheet of paper. But if you prefer a wooden pencil, these Amazon Basics 2 pencil are a great pick. Notebooks or binders. The best writing utensils in the world are useless if you don't have something to write on. Which is why my next recommendation for your backpack is a set of quality notebooks or binders. Notebooks are slim and come with all the paper you could need, making them a great choice for basic note taking. These 5-star notebooks are a classic, but if you are looking for something more high-tech, then check out the Rocketbook, a notebook that you can erase. Here's Thomas' review of the Rocketbook. New, while notebooks are convenient, they are also limited. You can't move around pages, and you have a minimal space to store handouts and all the assignments. So, for a greater level of organization, you can use a binder. This way you have space for as many paper as you need. Plus space to store class materials, the 5-star note binder is your favorite. Scientific calculator. If you are not in math or STEAM courses, you can skip this one. But if you are talking STEM classes, then you'll likely need a scientific calculator. Your professor will specify which calculator you need, if a specific one required. But if they don't require a specific one, then you can't go wrong with the T184 Plus. Textbooks. If you have a class that require you to bring your textbook, be sure to pack the books you need the night before. This way you don't forget them when it's 7 am and you haven't had your coffee yet. For help finding the cheapest textbooks possibly, check out this guide. Laptop charger. You gotta keep that laptop a tablet charged. Now, otherwise, it's just an expensive brick of plastic, metal, and glass. If you can afford it, I recommend having a separate charger for carrying around in your backpack, plus an extra one to keep in your board. This way you'll always have a backup if you lose one of the chargers. Phone charger. Some your laptop never leave the house without a phone charger. I usually keep a couple in my backpack so that I have an extra if one of my friends forgets there. For extra versatility, get one of these universal charging cables, headphones or earbuds. Music was crucial to my study process during college, and I also needed a way to watch Netflix and YouTube without beginning to roommate inter headphones. If you never use it over the headphones, then you're missing out. Then offer an audio experience that's far superior to earbuds. For a budget pair, if over the ear headphones that sound great, get the Audio Technica HM M20X. If you have some extra cash and want to eliminate all distraction, try these wireless noise cancelling headphones. While headphones tend to sound better, earbuds still have their place. They are easy to throw in your pocket, and they are better for using while you're at the gym or on a bike ride. I recommended either the I'm or triple driver earbuds or AirPods if you have an iPhone. Jesus. It sounds like a minor thing to carry, but I can't count the number of times I've been out somewhere and wished I had a tissue. Besides blowing your noise, you can use scissors to pick up gross things, clean up small messes, and use as a napkin in a pinch. Here's an affordable portable option. Chapstick. Having attended college in Northeast Ohio and now living in Denver, I never leave the house without a tube of chapstick. It's very personal choice, but I highly recommend board beers if you are looking for a pleasing, inoffensive flavor of lip balm. First, I'd kid. One day while I was riding my bike across town, I come across another cyclist who bet taking a pretty nasty fall and scraped himself up. Uh, he was able to write again, but he was still bleeding. Likely, I happened to have a first aid kit in my bike's saddlebag, and I gave him several bandages and some antibacterial wipes. That experience solidified my options. Carry a small first aid kit in your bag. It doesn't take up much space, and you never know who might need it. Mints or jam? I like to carry either mint or jam to keep my breath fresh and teeth clean after meals while I'm out. Certainly not an essential item, but it doesn't take up much space and can be a lifesaver after that cellar with feta and eggs. This is my favorite gum, though your preference will likely differ. Pocket notebook. While I always carried notebook for my classes, I also likely to carry a small notebook for jotting down ideas or just doodling while I was waiting for class to start. Now that I am out of college, I continue to carry a pocket notebook for similar purposes. My number one recommendation is this Moleskine, which is small enough to fit in a jacket pocket, purse, or backpack front pocket. Reusable water bottle. I could have put some statistic here about how most people don't drink enough water, but I think you know that by now. In order to stay hydrated throughout the day, I recommended carrying a reusable water bottle. Your backpack likely has a handy pocket for it, so you might as well use it. Some people prefer plastic water bottles, while others like metal or even glass. So here are my three favorite bottles in each category: plastic, metal, glass. Healthy snacks. I tended to get hungry throughout the day when I was in college, and I didn't always have time to run to the cafeteria. To counter this, I carried a variety of snacks in my backpack. For optimal portable snacks, I recommended choosing items that both durable and nutritious. Nuts of all kinds are great for this, as well as granola. Just try to get one without too much added sugar. Bananas and apple will also work, though be careful to keep them away from the bottom of your bag. I can say from experience that getting banana group of you literary anthology is not a fun time. For more be healthy eating tips, check out this guide. Book or e-reader. This last recommendation is certainly optional, but it will improve your life immensely. With the rise of smartphones, it's now possible to fill every moment of downtime throughout the day with mindless scrolling. Besides doing little to enrich your mind, spending lots of time on your phone might also increase your stress level and will certainly fragment your attention. To give yourself a more productive thing to do during free moments, carry a book or an e-reader with you. Preferably an e-reader without a web browser such as Kindle Paperwhite. If you are looking for some bucks to start with, check out our list of the best books for students. What you carry in your backpack is a personal choice. I hope this list has helped you decide what to carry in your backpack for college. Maybe you even found a few suggestions you hadn't considered before. Ultimately, however, what you put in your backpack is up to you. The key is to put some thought into the instance instead of just throwing a bunch of junk into your bag and pooping for the test. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.